Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sikasem High Life Radio NLTA. Your boy Patrick Fee. And there, so it was topics from crime. Once again, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Sikasem and it every Monday, it will have 7 to 9 p.m. Sikasem Ho Ejuma. And then your topic, it become 12 money rules of the rich. 12 money rules of the rich. And you become before I'd like you to like, share, and subscribe. Every Wednesday, so on a paradigm shift, in Microphobia break, different people about information APC use intimi move forward. A month for mutimi use or a month for mutimi nema ekosu ya nyoma kasa sebe yebeboa yeso ne atimi se information fufu bia enya na betimi aboa me move on. So hope say unya live show of data subscribe to Patrick Berfi YouTube channel ubenya live show of that. Yes. Again, and a topic near 12 money rules of the rich. 12 money rules of the rich. Say you will never think about money the same after these 12 rules. And now you become same. Welcome everyone again. Welcome everyone. Yeah. So they make an catch on me be say no so and control be. Say sikasem welcome everyone. Yo, money rules, 12 money rules of the rich. Basically, it's about, say, your friend is saying the habits, of the rich. 12 money rules of the rich. Essentially, financial habits of for building lasting wealth. And on who has any ever can. Essentially, and who has any ever can. Yo. Number one, if you look at this 12 rules, you will never think about money the same way after looking at these 12 rules. One, rule number one, build assets, not just income. The rich they just don't make money. They own what makes money. You see, that's the problem. We are so much focusing on income rather than building assets, especially here community. Yeah, people will be just saying, "Hey, my income you say, then no corner the BI you come myself." Rather than see a build the BB, I'm gonna me a boy, I'm gonna echo tree because if you be just the income, no, it doesn't take you that far. So stop asking how much I can make, and start asking how can I own to make this money. We are so much on income, so much. By income, and you see, rich people, like I said, this is the one habit. They don't chase money. They build assets. They build assets, and here's why. Because that asset, even if they leave a job, will be continually paying them. That asset continuously in and that's how most assets are. So why are we so focused on just the income? Because what we've seen is most of the time you try to Scooby now see a coca improvement never see between improve your one improve increase your income the income no cost. By the year when they said that income no so we lose so see I need that income in that. But so we improve on to build the asset. Now even if you lose that job, but that asset is still there. That is the reason why the rich always focus on building assets, not just income. They don't chase money. They don't. How can I make more money? And that's the focus. Because energy be brow. Energy be to amount in case we lose that job now. With the year Juman. And how are we going to do that? You see, building asset doesn't come just one day. Building asset doesn't come just a month. Building asset just comes just a year. A gradual process. You see, we all want to be rich. We all want to be wealthy, but we don't want to follow the process. You see, when it comes to riches, it comes to wealth building. And yet, one day, a process, and you have to follow the process. Why? Because one follow process. No. You see, ubetimi win a lottery, that's fine. Your friend say ubetimi inheritance, that is fine. But if you don't have that processor, when they build a wealth, that lottery now will win, will be lose. Why? Because it's a process. Because you don't have that plan. But if you have a planner, it changes everything. Let me make an example. If you will plan, say every $100 that hits your hands, when you say move 20 investment, when you say be a long-term investment, move to another 20, another investment in case anything happens, I'll be says can be a move 60 a best spend. Yeah, it's different. In 200,000, you know exactly what you are going to do with that 100,000. But so we need that principle, we need that discipline, we need any style, any goal in place, we set anything. Oh, idea be and says can be told say man was started in anyhow. That is why a TB anytime I want for any lottery, I'm not for your inheritance, but still no, they come back to zero. Why? Because they had no plan before that money. So winning any plan, it can happen. But so a planner, who says can I change BBR? So let's focus on having a plan of building assets and not a bit not just the income. It's good, see more income, but what are you doing with that income that comes in? Also, start to sell the build. That's what the rich do. They don't just make the money; they own what makes money. Okay, maybe a chairman could be no Tony, maybe a sign or the rich people and one only and one rich people. No, the rich people don't do that. Only Niamana more tone because we're making more money from it. So let's focus on making owning the things that make money rather than say we are just making money. It doesn't work that way. If you want to build wealth, long-term wealth, focus on how I be see making and I'll be only the things that are making money. No, you move brain, yes, sir. And maybe we say, yes, the rich they don't chase money, they build asset, and that's the reason why they build asset because a mom financial freedom. Number two, yeah, make your money and now make money work for you. Don't save for saving's sake. Invest every dollar, or let's invest so every dollar has a job. You see, if you are saving without a name, you are doing it all wrong. If you are saving without a name, you are doing it all wrong. Don't just save. Every saving, I will say one name. Every saving, I will say name. Why? Because if the saving doesn't have a name, that money should be invested. That money should be invested. That is what one of the rules, which is number two. They make sure their money is working for them. That money is not sitting there. And you see, here brave. You have to be brave to do that because most people know say when they are investing, and that's when they are investing, it's a risk. Yes, it's true. That's why the reward that comes after the investing, yet so huge, So just saving the money won't get you anywhere. Just saving the money will not do anything. So we have to focus on making sure that money that is there is working for us. Yes, we don't want to lose this money. Yes, but there are so many places I'll be to invest here, very secure. Yeah, investment be risky. And in fact, we are investing in ourselves, say pips risky, but we still do it. So you might as well do it. Let's take the stock market, for instance. You hear so many stories and they risky as day in, day out. That bad boy continue going up. Old boy, they be a cost rule. A cost rule. That is the reason why 2020 now Dow Jones 19,000 as 20,000. I ne Dow Jones 47,000. Until Toby that time take a risk at Tobia. Right now, no, a double amakakra cross about the camera. So that kind of risk, so one taking that risk now to be very wealthy, a better day. Because with your savings, the way a savings ACTR savings is giving you about 0.5. That's all the 1,002 every month. The bank have drew 1 million, and the bank have drew 100,000. But so what will be? That's average about 10%. It changes the whole equation. It changes the whole equation. Even if we're 100,000 to that's one for be and come crying or investing in good things is going to get you 10%. That 100,000 by 21 years, that 100,000 will be almost 800,000 without adding a dime, because the rule of 72 trade say without 10% in every 7 years, that money is going to go up. It's going to double, and when it doubles up, all the way up there. So saving alone will not help. Invest every dollar and make sure say every dollar let your money work for you. Let your money work for you. That's another thing we have to do. You can't just let the money sit. You need the money to work for you. That's what the rich do. They don't let the money sit. Always that money is working for them. You see, the rich don't just work hard. They work smart. And how do you work smart? By making sure, say, the money that is coming to you, who you soon for something, a bedroom maybe no, one year you might say the own, but that money that you have invested, best start to say a bro income. It doesn't take a day, it doesn't take 2 days, it takes months, it takes years, it takes decades. And some of it started well. That's how you work smart. So you've been working for 10 years, you've been investing all the time for the past 10 years. It'd be $500 every month. After 10 years, you will see now that money is bringing you something very substantial. The first 2 years, you won't be a cry, because saving 500 a year is like 6,000. The first year, when it's 6,000, saying 600, 10%, about 10%, 6,600. You don't see anything. What's say another 6 years, another year, another 6,000, 12 years, 12 months, 6,000. For the 2 years, 12,000. That 12,000, the one saying, and also be at 10%. Be difference say 1,200. In total, be 1,800 for 2 years, and about be good 12,000 or so. But guess what? That's 600. No, so yeah, and so yeah, with 6%, and so 60. Then I started compounding, and I started. That is why you need to make sure, say, who invested, who make it sure, say, that dollars are working for you. Don't let it sit. Remember, there was so many years continuously. You see, I understand. So sometimes, many group be near about how emergency fund is good. We have to find emergency fund, put it there. But I think we have to focus on cash flow instead of just emergency fund. Because if you have money going through your hands all the time, it changes everything. It changes every situation, because every day I will pay $4,000, $5,000 if I was a man. Even if you don't have emergency fund, you're fine. But if you don't have that, you need to have something that anything happens. As anything happens, especially Kruma baby away BBC better for. Now so Sako Bosia. It will be a way prayer what me treat you okay you won't free now. Let's add the walk back some way. So let's make sure say we are investing. Investing is the key. 3. Own, don't owe. You see, ownership builds wealth. Debt can be a tool, but never the master. You say, yeah, it can be said cash is king, right? It is true, cash is king. Because you could scan and gasakrana a different scan debit card, now kuta cash your pocket and grab be a change. But anyway, let's look at how I be see own things. You see, a lot of us, we are focusing on owing rather than owing. Yeni bibi a yeye dia. Na mu bibi a we fie bia so no. Si entwe a yebetima be fa akọ. Ye ka yetim enye ye dia. We don't owe it. You also debt also in case anything happens, it's going to be taken. Say Bobra. Now this start here is so difficult to move forward. You see, the reason being said, if I don't know where you live, but maybe I may tell you, say me fi ji obi sika, na me de koto bibia, enye free. Me tua penalty be a friend interest also. And I guess I think so also the age. Maybe I would be baby out no interest no that interest no form. But na come. You see, anytime you are owing, you see, you are spending, say 2025. Now me koto car, na se car na me the debt to swa. Me the credit na me the twa. Na me tua na 6 years time na me tua we are. E dia na me. That means my spending me 2026 income already. My spending me 2027 income all the way to 6 years. Abras time no cry nyenwe. So if you are using the present to pay for your past, or pay for your past, then I'll be going to for your future. And then I'll be better for your future. You see, we are so fixated on just owing. Now, I be a cow, so why you be asked the audio crowd in answer? A dinner, we hear car. Now, what two buses will save Wakotoka as a winning answer because I was so called a cow quiet the baby mouth. By any reef, say will be a friend interest in also. You see, every month now we make a payment. A change be but we give payment through life, man. Say 10,000 out of the fee a month, and now 5,000 crown out of the fee a month. Which you baby I would say, and it you'll be dear. Say 2,000 in your idea, you can do anything with it. So you enjoy focusing too much on that own. Yeah, we owe too much. We owe too much. Now they be a dragging it down. So start owning stuff. A dear na bit me only a bit me a bow. A dear na bit me only a baby papa be a mount. And none will see a start to see a dream home. You see, most ownings no and never be dry only a asset, like properties. And I see only businesses be. Those things no build the equity. Long term wealth, and then your financial control. Because we need something that is so tough for somebody to come and take it away. But say if they be here the car, you say and near my the car depreciation, liabilities. We have to avoid that depreciating liabilities. You talk cars near their tokaso. Car na ya turn and kasano appreciate. What's that their tokaso? Into would tria now interest no at the same time within a year, 2-3 no na car no. I cut down by 80%, you turn 20,000. By the next 4-5 years, no, that car worth about 5,000, worth about 4,000. It's why are we putting all these different interests, future interest, need those things no one. It's the rich, rule number 3, they own, they don't owe. Avoid depreciating liabilities. They try to only value different assets, which are appreciated. What on 10,000 ne? And your crown by the next 2-3 years, now then be about 12,000. And you may be no be in a way, every crana, and yet an unqua crana, it pays you all the time. And then I'll focus on long term. You see, so focus on long term, it changes the equation. Because any you sell so to be now they talk so. And you say because who be potentially no a bit more generating income. Now I appreciate it, not just short-term gratification whereby a car with the FO, a die with the soon, maybe crowd home so I was so. And the amount of financial leverage and a stable liability. It's interesting be increasing ownership. near reduce asset, it lead to stronger financial, leverage and greater stability. Why? Because who asset, and you say, I'm first started can't be break, the recession, and the stock market will be breaking. You see, anytime that thing happen, it makes a lot of people rich. Imagine say, what me will scap be break. Now say asset be go down. I remember one of the richest people, not all about 2008. How is money here rich? No, what when investors kasa now that didn't happen. Imagine houses are 600,000 were going for 200,000. Could 1 million or to bear 5. Houses 500,000 were going for 100,000 or turn a cash or to buy 50 houses. So if you're always prepared, that's the leverage I was talking about. In this leverage now, you need the leverage. No, I'm talking of that amount leverage. Because anytime we see recession, we see a bear market, bear market means that the stock market has gone down about 20%. Say stock down, cut down by 20%. Now we scap. But you know more. It's all of a sudden, boom, now cost through. But say if you owe staff, I don't know crowd the car. They don't know when you be at work, cross the quack to baby. So the focus should be say, try see build only staff instead of just a camp one. Number 3, cash flow. See, cash is king. I was talking about cash is king earlier on. Know exactly how much money enters, moves, and exits your life. Control cash flow, control your future. So control cash flow, I'll be control the future. We don't know how much we spend a month. And so D. Control. You see, you cannot control what you don't manage. And it happen. Hey, so we make his casa saying now, so I say we discount anyhow. Now we for planning to swa. We see casem into 2 years that. Found saying you will see make it was what the plan to him. Scassing him, scassing he move around, scassing he free me ho. And a big financial decision also make. Because if you really want to build wealth, you have to be able to manage what is coming in and what is going out. And how do you do that? You see, the importance of consistent cash flow financially, for financial health and enable reinvestment, because unim sika wenya, unim sika ko out, unim diaka. Until betimi ide, betimi invest diaka. But unim she and also this can anyhow. Better what me build the world. You see, now we invested that one. The account now we invested no, and it produces income and so on. You see, ultimately the to be before ultimately to rental asset, ultimately to dividend stocks, business and ventures. So ultimately invest in different things. Most of them more in steady income. Maybe I will do matter the 9 to 5, but the first thing you know what is going on, what is coming in, you know the account will manage you secure. Now the air ban to be to baby. Now that thing is be started saying so much what income. Because cash flow there is the king. And you could say all the time, what's an man. You see, I'm not for to compare cash flow versus any network. You see, cash flow offers flexibility, unlike network, and provided reliance during financial downtimes. A more financial freedom. And somehow planning, because all the time what cash flow is some any joke. Any joke. Say cash flow is some all the time is different. And you different cry. It is so good. Say all the time you have to plan. Say you are bringing something, you are trying to do great things. The be a cash flow is a change be a very predictable because when you say scale flow, say maybe see how be and then my scalable income. streams ever. And ultimately planning long term. In the more financial independence. I dare you so see you're financial independent. But if you don't manage your money, it's so hard to be able to buy stuff to be able to bring cash flow. Cash flow is king. Yes, cash flow is king. But if you always sticking on the paycheck, we focus too much on income. You see, income pays bills, a bit of our bills. But when the paycheck stops, income also be there. Stop it. You see, asset keeps paying you after you stop working. It's not rich people, they buy freedom, not just things. And how do you buy freedom? Buying asset, owning asset. Asset like what? Properties, staffs, businesses. The things that when the paycheck stops, it's going to continue giving you money. So cash flow is king, no doubt. To me, and compare the two, that cash flow is king. Cash flow is king. Number 5, leverage. Leverage smartly. Small leverage uses borrowed resources to amplify financial outcome and accelerate wealth creation. You see, when it comes to leverage, I don't think that capability to say or see it use leverage. But we have business using leverage, you have to really know what you're doing. And if you are very, very smart, you won't do it the way other people especially if you're in a place where leveraging is so easy. They even force you to get it if you don't want to. Even if you don't want to, near force or sedge. You have to be very careful. But if you are very smart, if you really know what you're doing, you see, because at the end, they say, make a top down 200,000. Yes, I mean 30,000 to the dine the mommy. Now, me tree every month be a me tree 1,000. Now, me did dine rent you be, I'm making the 2,000. Now, me tree 1,000 no movie, now me 1,000 na come now, baby. Again, the chance. But so 1 year, it be buafaso. And she be a in who be. People were buying houses left and right. We equity flow with them. That house now me told 200,000. Apart from the 1,000 be a mini every month. It's I appreciate it. That's the good thing about buying asset. I appreciate it. I say mommy income continuously, right? Now my for a dine appreciate you use can almost add the top dine for floor. Now appreciate no use a dine. It's no buhana or bear 4 or 5 houses. It be and why it paid off. It anything happen. BBC pet na omo muti dine muntimi ntua omo dine car. Na was status will be loose fee. A dine out to no status will be loose. In na hubida. That's what I'm saying. It's a way smarter. Obey the ye. Hubida. Because minimum craft for the past 100 years in the United States of America, hey, there has been about 18 recessions. See, that means less than a decade be a recession BC. Recession CC a month for Luso Majuma, a month for Sikasem and to Toyi, a month for Intimitum dying Kaniade. It you only dying a month for Tino Muntimintia, Senebeco. Senebefa. But if you are very smarter, you will use leverage very wisely. Very wisely. You see, when it comes to definition of definition of smart leveraging, it's who borrows resources to amplify financial income and accelerate wealth. Say example I may make here. When you're in such a way so better. You see, leverage is commonly mostly it's achieved through loans, partnership, and I say investor capital. Those things in the leverage come. The 1 year and found to it. But in a smart way, see, effective leverage requires careful risk management. So be able to avoid the financial strain and over exposure. Because we expose we see one had the income crana, one fan leverage and can be a wow fee be out in crown, need in never. You see, strategic leveraging a benefit when used wisely now, it be beneficial. But again, like I said, that's why I feel say it will be brown man. We have no business using leverage. But if you really know what you're doing, good. Because leverage is expanding investment opportunities and also to say the kind of scaling wealth responsibility. But you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. Why you're smart? Now you say I say it's simple. Be me at all. And you even cry recession, you won't cry and I say a month for obi told them on Triani idea. Sometimes you need so be 20 pound credit free, depending on the state. Sometimes the state be very tough, so be credit 20 pound free. By bank, they don't find home. Maybe I'll call G-scan. Maybe I'll leverage you you have to continue to be paying it. So yes, leveraging is good when you know what you're doing. Yes. Number 6. Diversify your streams. You see, diversification provides stability during economic fluctuations by spreading risks across various income channels. You see, Bible Cracker, 7 Ventures, right? Especially these days, especially the system as a say woman, we have to diversify even the work you are doing. You have to diversify. You have to make sure incomes are coming from all corners. And income crana or Niama wo ye cry, Niama invest woman also attempt to diversify. Because anything happens, say can economic fluctuation be a bar. Because sometimes we have investments it's a bonds, treasuries in those things. You won't lose your capital, but the investment or the profit that comes out of it is very small. Not like the stock market, whereby it's too risky to lose even your principal. By the investment, you see, lower risk, lower reward. Higher risk, higher reward. So the stock market is a higher risk because you can lose everything that you put in until you make more over there. But you have to make sure, so if you're investing in those things now, you have to have all these angles how we're investing in now. But to me, I'm not saying anything happens, but if you're losing everything, I still have something here. It will be to invest in real estate. It's not the same as investing in the stock market. Between investing in stocks, between investing in dividends, between investing in bonds, between investing in treasuries. There are so many ways between. You can invest in other businesses, other ventures. At least you have to spread it across. If you try to make the precious minerals like gold and those things, I'm not really for that, but yes. And the reason why I'm not for gold, and they say when you look at other things now, other things we invest in, I don't know, good and you know, yeah, but sometimes volume will go up. That is fine. I don't see any reason why I wasn't maybe. But most people, yeah, especially people that have so much, make sure say, diversified, say, yeah, anytime stock market take off, they are not good, usually echo up. You see, and they will copper, they will, for instance, silver. There are so many things you can invest in. So don't let it be just one. Then after that, when it comes to income wise, you see, IRS websites is here now. Which me find out about people that are doing well financially and are people that are rich. They have on average 7 sources of income that is coming in. 7 sources of income. That is why they are doing rich. And I can guarantee you that 7 sources of income. In almost spending 8 hours every day. Most of them will be passive, meaning they are not spending so much time on it, but money is still flowing in. Some might be big, some might be small, some might be medium. but they have 7 sources of income. We lose 2, 5 still. We lose 4, 3 was I about to 7 and son of this may lose be a one lose be. If you can't build them more, mean on average, it's about 7 sources of income. It means if you were more, if you were less than that, but on average, it's 7 sources. The thing I always say be able to mean those incomes. Yes, because 7 sources of income, like I said, I don't think say almost spending almost time every day. I was 7 now. Number 7, avoid lifestyle inflation. Instead of lifestyle upgrade, the rich, they reinvest earnings into assets and experience for long-term growth. You see, I never come in, especially your community, say, we work so hard. We try to find job, 2, 3 jobs near juma gidi. And you know, cry. You upgrade your home. Say program bika crab ni bit me ya boy am be sika sema cost rate me. Now we've been paid, 80,000, you move 10,000, 90,000. Guess what? Near upgrade your car. It's nice say a juma at the entire force to see it me upgrade your home, say be a financial bit me sound. You won't any difference because your income increase by 10,000. But guess what? You increase your car, you increase your dime. You upgrade your dime. Now your town home, your cousin family, you try more. It's nanka, it be a mortgage now, it be a 15,000 the whole year. Now, you upgrade 10,000 ever, it move 6,000. And I say move 6,000, echo car down. Your car, now can you it's near upgrade car no. Now 10,000 ever, it move 4,000 as I car no. Now the I say sometimes you need real fee, you act it. Say you make it 90,000. Yes, we make 90,000, but any refuse taxes cross out. It will say yes, spend this kind of. It the be lifestyle inflation. You see, that is whereby you upgrade your income. You do as much as possible so the trust your income because no match your lifestyle and meet say. Let's say for so be a mad your way so. When this can be anto, when this can be intimate invested, to say the acres amount for only asset is scaffolding only asset, you wait me at 2 assets. Let's say, when a kind of called 0, what's about the same? The Bianas Casemna Usu and one Usu. The Biana complain away and one away because also life a better now to be saving after a while. See, but we can't delay gratification. We want it now. I want it and I want it now. You see. Most of us here are 30 children. You see, children are BBA will pay beyond person. You see, adults divorce a plan and follow the plan. But children do what feels good. But at the end, it costs. Because you spend no time to improve yourself financially, improve yourself, your income. Now, all the time, that income, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It's DNA see it to me. That income now increase man hebano. I see start to see the only asset. Or start to see the to baby a bit me a boy. Remember, asset keeps paying you long after you stop working. That is why the rich buy freedom. And freedom is what? It's asset. Not just things. Not just things. But DNA, we buy things to match our income. Maybe and one year. Whereas you can't be that rich person that works so hard, that works so smart. As you'll be always working hard. A debit me year free, start working hard and working smart and say, those income no buy it. Yeah, that increment, it be stay the same. Now yet me, I used that income with 10,000 nearby. The year before. Imagine say every yet me try improve yourself 10,000. Not that 10,000, yet me the year investment, you stay your life stay the same. Yet me you see that 10,000 for the next 5 years, You need 50,000. The year be crown percentage be become one. Probably a number 80,000. It change BBR. 80,000 between the aqua to be so between the aqua asset B. That's where you between use leverage. Abem, I didn't need 200,000, 80. Now, between their rent will be 1,000. 1,000. Then you pay 2,000 and 1,000. I want change. Near to me, this 1,000, so I started to me, be a cotton before, and a bit of a packet, a point to be a bit in their 2 dance, so 3 into near to another one. And I see between their top asset be like stocks. That is how we have to do. But see, yes, you can in Nania said in not to be improve your lifestyle, improve, never be a journey, and yes, smart. Number 8, buy time, not things. The rich spend money to gain time, not to lose it, maintaining stuff. You see, it's the same about the near Kenya. Then we the bus, the Tonyama. But see, the rich, they use that thing to buy assets. That asset will give them time freedom. Why? Because assets in between your muka. Instead of saying Kobe Juma more than 40 hours now assets in between at the kakra become. What mean your time I spend it with the family? What mean your time I spend it with their children? What mean your time I spend it with their friends? What mean your time I spend it with their loved ones? By that time, you're the better staff. It may be a change now. It any time I dey kwako ye dey. E dey kwako it me di stay with our family, stay with our loved ones because it was juma. Because I will see you that time at the call. You see, we got to be smart. They spend time, they spend money to gain time, and that's it. The whole thing, no. That Ben also be that Ben also be to spending money. I'll be to me time. That Ben I'll be to me spending money. I'll also be to me time. And yet, no. All the time you're spending money, no, to buy stuff. Again, the rich don't just make money; they own what makes money. And your money is kind of this cabin, the jobs, the stocks, the properties. We need those things now. The farms, and no money. And then when we get money, man, I buy time because they started investing gradually. Then after a while, then you see that the thing about investing in those things is that when you start doing it after a while, it becomes your habit. It becomes part of you. It's one you cry now won't talk. It was a few year. Then when you start doing it, now say 100,000 now here. Now start with $5. Phone say, okay, $5. Wait me start. What try 1 year? What things will do, baby? But the next time now we increase. What's the next? What's a better habit? Now all the time now we. And the bit more to me. I buy time by buying asset, by buying things, and by bringing you money, not by buying stuff. Not even start putting them on creditor. They be a bit you away from time. Don't mean your time, and our family. Don't mean your time, and our loved ones. Number 9, protect your wealth. Yeah, especially people that are in the Western world, you see. Yeah, it's so funny. Say there are people who are, because of the way the system is here, they are always out there to see you. Say credit is so easy. People can know how much you owe, how much your worth is. Easy. It's when you accident, crown accident. Baby your fault. Insurance company need to when you be or your way out with your lawyer, be with you on the side if they know say you have a lot of money. It is also protected because people are always out there to come get you, take your money. So you have to protect your money. Insurance, when you cry, insurance is near there also. Auto insurance, health insurance, life insurance. What dependent are you need life insurance. disability insurance, long term, or yare or junior kakra 6 months. You need those insurance to protect you. Esa kakra no building obesedi amanasa. You see, there's one that is very my program, my we made a to chat normal if you want to see how the 18 insurance are. You can't go without them. You need those insurance. The other one cry umbrella insurance. Umbrella insurance is said in America. You see, say your auto insurance I will limit a bit me a it accident see na say your fault na say insurance and say be 50,000 mutual 50,000 then the pump who say who can up see you bit me see you. They can come after you. No mu see you umbrella insurance be a buy in about between sa money na. And I suggest that's a worth more than 800, close to $1 million. You need umbrella insurance. Because like I said, these days it's easy for people to know your wealth. When you issue on BCU. So shield yourself. Shield the whole free money. You know, I understand some people they don't want to pay insurance. Insurance, I did back your insurance. Insurance need BBBA. It's see and san work also war and sanity. All insurances sanity also war and sanity. So period, you have to have one. Auto insurance, or mortgage insurance. When you mortgage now renter insurance, you are not hooked for it because in the same way, it's still be by me fear or mortgage or Tiffy will fear anymore, bit me see you, son will be so about apartment or Tiffy will bit me see you. You know, also what's any money now. What your friend saying liability, long term, short term, and long term and short term. No, most of the time, short term they are free. Long term, to be $4 a whole month. You know, be told now into for 12 months now. Your friends say, oh, insurance, it's still at least some of them be 70% of your income. Depending on your job. Send it to toss animal nebi. A bit me abuao. I'm more shielded animal. That's what is for me. It's like a crowd when you are pair to home. So one could be man. Sense can be shit. That's also start all the way from zero. Learn before you earn. Financial education lays the foundation for wealth creation and smart money management decisions. You see, a very imperative. Financial education is very, very, very imperative. A BBBA, yentimi man quote just like that. A very imperative. Financial education, papa. And a BBBA, it was the BIA. Yenjaho. You see, oh, kind of mouths in a bed the BIA as I hear humongous tax beer. You just we the ed, but remember, it is the DBA dry. DBA also dry. DBA also choose and yes. Some financial education at here. What mean him through aquam? I will say DBA or honor. I will say DBA will see now improve now cost. A lay foundation for the world creation and smart money management. Because of financial education a church or nyama bebre, and my own savings city investments in the city. And my own budget. You see, the foundation, or not say the genesis of all financial stuff. Say we budget. What budget now budget? Those things no intimate in through. I will say the time be I will see continuous learning a benefit. Ongoing education helps individuals at the moment stay ahead of economic trends. Number adapt market changes. Nyama ekoso because you have to be informed. You have to be also who the ekoso. Well, who the ekoso a otewa na BBSC na usika na eko. So all the time. Now also you're proactive financial literacy all the time. We seeking mentors. Now we attending educational your friends event and be empower. You see, most people and you be home yeah, scared. Yeah, you know, yeah, confident. Yeah, education, but any education na change you be because we on ma say we go bit me invest crown. Education we need to know people be invest. We need to know the seeking na to bank. no 40,000, 80,000, 100,000 at that bank for no reason. A man 0.5%. Meanwhile, to co-invest and can more. All these come from financial education. So when you say it changes and continuously. I know. So because I no, these days we have no excuse. Your people for 40 be a crew say yebi. Ye church or call me YouTube channel, Patrick Berfee YouTube channel. Those so information be bring how be see investors the kwa be first why your friend saying high life radio. His programs to be bring YouTube, Facebook. Just sign money na be bring hono. So any excuse. Won't me friend any excuse. Any me kwa nipa be bring so yebi. Wow, between can kind so can be. Because you need to study those things. I will see you we need education now, and money my day. We need education, money my day. And as send a CTBR, also try so network with winners. Financial success is heavily influenced by the quality of one's social and professional network. You see, it's very key. The people you associate yourself with. West, when you from East, no. And you're very key. And who here, you work with people that cares every second. If it's only to change you, and be almost almost start to change you. It's network, and you're very key. Mama surround you, send it here. Baby, I so corner no more ye. And your mother be any motive for any bankununqua. I was so change Sanya money. Also make sure so network back and forth. Oh, train your mind. So you have to know all those things. You see, you know, a little trace. Oh, show more year or my ye na near more yen. These are the rules. Omu siadie, omu network, omu friend crofo. Obi the opeswa ni pebi no so ye ya no tie no. Wafa the books no kind, wafa the videos no tie, wafa your friends a podcast no tie. Na danfo bi na bibi no fi se na ni je ho betima na kosra. On fere obi sa ojo ade a we senate here. Bi pese me say se bi ko e wo sis kasembe mo se metua na akere me metua. Ye de yentua da. See betua pa 200 akosem na betua 200 akọ bibi betimi aboa ya ma improve your life be a 200 na ye be spend no for your friend saying for be a mentor be na bibi sa ma yetimi anya bibi I de be 10,000 brain and 10,000 nko. But we need that network. We need Sanya man here. You need that. Because one kwa edin. Woni mu kese. Wo fan nam for pa e change Sanya man nyina. Baby apese okọ enamfo na wafa wo. It's a simple. You see, value of strategic relationship. It provided access to opportunities, insights, and a ultimate collaborations a bit me grow further. It benefits, like-minded peers. Because we network with people with ambitions, like the same, when we are ambitious, so more foster motivation all the time, accountability. Joseph Castle be say, then of course, what almost bringing innovation, almost drive success. Just say that is what you need. But no, I know be the bankuni watching. I know I can't say no yet. But the mention say okay, so called level will be so called baby beer. Also share. Networking is very key, it's very important. Because sometimes network create to me, they make and bring opportunities. I have the opportunity to talk to so many people. because of these programs. There be so many opportunities, Amanipa. So many opportunities. Friends. They say Adibia here easily because of those things now. So network with winners. Just because me person me call Wester. And I want to East and me could diagro could enshia. Sometimes you know what be our now for crap because the more our network ni see and the more the more person you know. Busa fi mun come okra enshia bi. Because ono be kan komo bi a de aduane komo ne ade so ka different komo. Tubo ho na fi kra mo friendship no kra no. And this is the first TB no. Because we be onya iska de afide no yes a nkomo ni enshia. Enshia bi. Because mo friend na mo di nkomo enshia. I build that network. When be so far between building and will be also building. Because financial success is heavily influenced by the quality of one's social and professional network. Heavily influenced by that. Heavily influenced by that. And we can't go without that. You need those things. It be a quiet man. Between you will be a partnership, be a winning will be inside. We collaborate some way near. So it's key. And here, so we'll see yes, I don't know. Last, not the least, think long term. See legacy over lifestyle. The wealthy thinks in decades, not days. The goal isn't more money. It's more freedom, impact, and legacy. You see, that's the goal. The rich don't chase income; they build assets. The goal is what? More is not just the money. It's the freedom, the independence, the impact and the legacy of Obija. I think that's the ultimate goal. Are we doing that? That's the rule number 12. You see, if you have long-term thinking, I'll be changing. Especially for finance. We'll dream 4 years, 2 years, 3 years ahead. Be changing. So we'll talk car. We'll dream those ahead. We'll talk Diana. We'll dream that. So we'll talk Diana, we'll dream those things now. Actually, we'll talk be now thinking about long term. One. So we need this kind of sort of be ya. And my own how who so kwa kubobusia koyeda. No could change interest be. Because we're thinking long term. You're not thinking of right now. You see, you are delaying gratification. And people build train long term. Most people, especially when it comes to finance, they think long term. They care less what you think about them. They care less. Hey, so they can't dream grown farm. You'll be to afford no more better. Send it any sakra na on farm. You'll be to afford no bit me at all. Send you design and wash our farm because we're doing long term. Yeah, now. We all dream you look at action for because of what young tromo when him say will be quite of 200,000, you know. With the episode the attack the coach say and now and on your long-term thinking. It's just tomorrow thinking. Episode the rulers what coach say and about and on your long-term thinking. Long-term thinking say you go on and see wealth quietly be your building wealth, be your building quietly. Because you won't see it, you won't know it. I'm not say Drew point to be a fiddy or not compensate better. I will say no ever. But when I'm ensure think long term, legacy over lifestyle. See the wealthy, they think long term. In decades, no more dream. 10 years time, they never see. 20 years time, they never see. Not a channel. Then this canon kwam. You see, in this canon kwam. In 20 years time, na me 65. Na me nye adwuma bi ma. E die ne be feed me. And no dream. E die an impact na me the bank for life no. And no dream. Dear na bidija me ma wachiri. Dear me ma cry na dear na bidija we ase wachiri. And no dream. Now if you think over these things now, you care less about what people think about you. Because a man who goes be a person seti, goes be a person yeto. And on how dream when dear will be kafa. You'll be kafa on dear and cafe. You see, long-term planning, focus on generational wealth, enduring financial impact beyond immediate gains. That's how long-term planning, that's how important it is. The amount of patience, because we were long-term to do it. The amount of resilient. You see, successful long-term thinking, it requires patience and resilience to withstand short-term economic fluctuations, and I say market fluctuations. Now you need this discipline. To be thinking long-term, you see, investing, for example, investing, say, you have discipline and thoughtful risk, taking. Because be risky. Investing in stock market is risky. But they also say, we take a calculated risk. And it will help you achieve long-term financial success and stability. You see, long-term focus ensure creation of meaningful legacy and positive impact for future generation. Again, I would wachiri. Again, and I would wachiri. You make a beam. You see, the rich don't just make money; they own what makes money. The rich don't chase income; they build assets. You see, stop asking, "What can I make? What can I make? And how can I make money?" And start asking, "How can I own what makes money?" You see, asset, it keeps paying you long after you stop working. That's how the rich buy freedom, not just things. Yes, you see, income pays bills, but the paychecks stops. But when the paycheck stops up, the income will stop. It will stop. Income pays your bills, yes, but when the paychecks stops, the income stops. Remember, the rich don't work hard; they work smart. So stop chasing income and build assets. My name is Patrick Murphy. Welcome to Sikasem, Financial Peace Education in Yedebreon. Make sure you spend wisely, save intentionally, and be generous. Again, your topic was 12 money rules of the rich. And if you listen to this, you will never think about money the same after these 12 rules you go through. See you. Bye-bye.